Greetings, my champions, and welcome to Live with Chatufa. On this platform, we give you just brief updates of issues and stories that are happening within the country, also in the neighboring countries, as well as all over the world. We actually give more comment and commentary on our main channel, Chatufa TV Productions. And if you want to hear more commentary on the issues and quite a lot of longer sessions of our shows, you can join us on our main show, on our main channel, Chatufa TV Productions. So Emerson Mnangagwa buys a whole new fleet of convoy cars, including a personal Rolls-Royce. So while the country really is burning, while Zimbabwe is wailing under poverty, Zimbabwean people failing to feed themselves, the country in just serious doldrums that nobody can ever imagine. You see, the obsession with cars that Mnangagwa has is quite alarming. This government is just a government that is buying cars. Everything is about cars. And this becomes really a big sickness that we have seen in the party of ZANU-PF, with MPs just demanding cars, the ministries buying cars and cars and cars, and some of the cars also even not being finally, supplied after tenders have been given out. And this is quite sad. Chiefs have cars being bought for them on a yearly basis, at times twice in a year. And you ask yourself, what is it with cars? What is it with cars? It seems like all the money that the government has is focused on just going to buy cars. And yet hospitals, roads, electricity, and quite a lot of other amenities that are needed by the masses are suffering in the country. So it's quite sad, really, for Mnangagwa to want to be driving cars that are driven by King Charles, of Britain, while we are in Zimbabwe. So Children of War Veterans says here, the state has acquired a brand new vehicle for E.D. Mnangagwa. This time it's a Rolls-Royce. Just imagine. So it is not just a Rolls-Royce, it is also together with a fleet of the convoy cars. So when you look at the costs that this man is incurring against the backdrop of poverty in Zimbabwe and the economy that is suffering, you ask yourself, what really is this? I don't know why these guys are not satisfied. The cars that they have are just too expensive. And if you look at the cars that are bought, that are in the ZANU-PF as a party, that are in the deployees of Mnangagwa, that are in the ministries, you would find that the budget really of buying the cars, servicing the cars, and the fuel consumption is quite huge, to the point that you would really never imagine it. And yet they continue to buy more and more and more cars. This is quite sad. When Emerson Mnangagwa came to power, he lied to the Zimbabwean people that he was going to be using a Mercedes-Benz ML 320. And he went around with that ML 320 for the first days. And all over the news, all over ZANU-PF propaganda, they were praising him, saying that he has chosen to use a very cheap car so that he works on the economy and things like that. And where has it gone to? The very same Mnangagwa was going around picking up papers in the streets when he came to power. Where is he today? So you can see the hypocrisy of these politicians, that they will be trying to become what they are not. And this is quite very sad and very, very embarrassing. So how does Zimbabwe grow? How do we grow the economy if this government is just hell-bent on buying cars? Something definitely must be done. We really need people that are serious, who would take Zimbabwe as their first priority. People who are coming into government with the hope of cutting down on government expenditure. The government of Zimbabwe has the tendency of eating what they have not captured. You see, you can't eat what you have not caught, and that is exactly the problem that we continue to see with ZANU-PF. Every time they are overspending. Why do you have to spend more than what you have. And every time there's a deficit of budget, every time there have to be supplementary budgets, all because of mismanagement of funds. They don't know where to put the money. The manufacturing is collapsed. The agriculture sector is collapsed. Nothing is moving. Electricity is blackouts throughout. So how does that economy rise? How does that economy become better? And how can the life of Zimbabweans improve? That is what we are talking about. So it's quite a very, very sad development that we continue to see happening. And this is why we continue to say, Zimbabwean people, rise up. Let's continue to fight our fight for freedom. We need to remove these selfish and greedy leaders and have a government that cares for its own people, a government that is there to serve the people, a government that knows that it is mandated to go and do the will of those that elected them into office. Once politicians overstay in power, they become a problem. And that is the problem that we are seeing in ZANU-PF. We have an overstayed government and overstayed politicians, career politicians, recycled politicians. They are a cancer to the politics of any nation. And that is what we are talking about, because they begin to develop the spirit of entitlement, of thinking that it is their right to be in political office. It is their right to squander the money of the state. It is their right to be voted for. And if it becomes a right, then why should then voting continue to happen? So this is what it is. So we have a big war to fight to make sure that we bring liberty and freedom to the Zimbabwean people. And it takes Zimbabwean people to unite, to join hands, and not to fight one another, to fight against the common enemy. And in Zimbabwe, our common enemy is ZANU-PF and Emmerson Mnangagwa. Once these people are out of picture, Zimbabwe will rise in a matter of seconds. Zimbabwe will recover in a matter of days. And that is what we are fighting for. That is what we are praying for. And that is what we are believing God for in this season. Otherwise, thank you so much, family, for joining me on this show. We will meet. There is still one more show to come. So stay tuned till we meet again. You are blessed.